Hey coaches, happy Monday. I hope y'all had a really great weekend and I hope your Monday is going well so far. I'm still up in North Carolina right now in Charlotte and I'm going to look at apartments here in a little while. So I apologize that I'm not all put together yet, so just please excuse the way that I look. But I hope y'all are all having a great morning so far. I just finished listening to the National Coach Call and it was really great. Trina talked about some really amazing things that we can apply to our business. So I wanted to touch on some of the things that she said on the call today and kind of give my own little spin on it. And then I have a few other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about that will you'll immediately be able to apply to your business so that you can get organized, kind of prioritize things, and then also so that you can start applying the training right away so that you can start earning money to help more people and to help your own future with your own financial goals. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about that I really enjoyed that she went over on the call was the fact that a lot of us are just so addicted to being so busy all the time because it makes us feel like we're important. But if we're trying to focus on 85 million things at one time, then we're not going to be effective. And I can look back at my coaching business and see that things really didn't start to go very well for me until I tried to cut back on things that I didn't need in my life and kind of eliminate those things that weren't helping me to move forward with what my goals were. So what I encourage you to do is, like what she said on the call, to look at all the roles that you have in your life and everything that you're trying to do, and we need to narrow it down to 5 to 7 total, because where was it that she said that? I can't find it. Where is it? But she basically said something about how we can be really extraordinary at a few things, but if we try to do a million things, then we're not going to be that effective. So what I encourage you to do is look at that list and then select a few that are the most critical that apply to your goals for your future. And I can't tell you what those are, only you know what your goals are for the future. I can certainly help you brainstorm if you need me to, but you know what's important to you, you know what your heart and your gut tell you to do, so I encourage you to look at that. And then you have to be realistic when you do this because it will change everything. And then it will be able to give you laser focus so that you can take your dedication and your time to devoting towards those roles. And you have to commit 100% and give it very hard work because that's what's going to make the changes in your life and make the needle move forward. So you got to cut back the things that aren't moving you forward right now. For me, some of the things I had to cut back were things that I enjoyed, but I knew that I would have time for in the future if I cut back on doing them so that I could move forward towards my goals for my Beachbody business. And some of the things I had to cut back included, doing things in my social life or doing things at my church. I still, committed to doing like maybe 1 or 2 things a week with friends or 1 thing a week with the church, but I was doing like 50 million before, like every day of the week. So once I cut back, I was really able to focus. So, honestly, you guys, there's something else that I want to go over with you guys. So this video might be a little bit longer than normal, but this is really important. We have got to get our training done because in order to go out there and help people, we have to be prepared and equipped to handle all the situations so that we can properly help them. So if we want to start earning money, if we want to start earning 6 figures so we can give away money to help people, if we want a better quality of life, if we want to see our paychecks increasing, we have to put forth the effort and do our training. That's the way that you will learn so that you can be most effective. So I really encourage you to finish your training if you have not already done so. And if you need help prioritizing that, then you please let me know. I would honestly say that what you need to do first and foremost is to finish the new coach checklist and get that done within a week. And after you're done with that, you let me know and we will start talking about what the next steps are. So the next thing that I wanted to focus on was how to manage your time and where you should be spending most of your time. And I learned a lot of this when I was at the Success Club conference in Disney, because I actually realized that a lot of the things that I was spending my time on were not helping me move forward, and I wasn't the most productive that I could be. For example, I used to have my cell phone next to me while I was working, and if someone texted me, even if it wasn't urgent, I would respond immediately because it was, right there, and I felt like, oh, someone's texting me, I have to respond. You don't have to respond. If you pick up your phone while you're in the middle of doing something, it's actually going to distract you, and you're going to become less productive because then you're going to quit what you're doing. So what I do now is I put my phone across the room, or I keep it next to me, and I don't respond to it unless it's an emergency. And then when I'm done with that specific task, and if someone needs something, then I'll go back to them and help them. So I encourage you to look at things like that in your life. And what we learned about was the 4 quadrants, and this was taught to us by Denise Needham. And what we have to do is act on the most important things, kind of like what we were talking about with priorities. So there's a time matrix that has 4 different quadrants. Q1 is the urgent and important tasks, which would be things like emergencies, last minute deadlines, and then things that are a necessity, like if your car breaks down. Q3 is things that are urgent and not important. We kind of feel like we need to act, but they're not. They're kind of like a low value, needless interruptions, irrelevant meetings, phone calls, and minor issues, distractions like text messages like I was talking about. Q4 are items that are not important or urgent. It's a way for us to escape from Q1 and Q3 to shut off our brain. Things like internet surfing, watching TV, and then just avoiding any activities. And Q2 is where we want to try to be. This is important but not urgent activities. They won't happen unless you act on it, and this is where extraordinary productivity can happen. It's things like doing proactive work, high-impact goals, creative thinking, planning, prevention, relationship building, learning and renewal. And you have to decide how you're going to do this, because your return on this is far greater. So what we want to try to do is focus most of our time in Q2, which is what I talked about just now, and that way we can prevent and eliminate the time in Q4, which is the distractions and things like that, so that we can go for the extraordinary. Of course, we're going to have things that come up that happen in the Q1 that are emergencies and stuff like that. And then the things that happen in Q3 are things that need to be done, but they can distract us from what we're currently doing. So what you need to do is to really just write down all the activities that you're doing through each day, and kind of try to figure out where you're spending your time. And think about, like my example, if you're spending time doing something and then you get interrupted, how many times does that happen? And how much could you get done if that didn't happen? So one thing that I did that really helped me is I wrote down everything that I was doing every day, and then I identified and tried to eliminate the Q3 activities. Again, that was for me, putting aside my phone and not responding to text messages immediately. And then you need to determine the value of each task that you're doing. Is responding to that text message, telling your friend what you're eating for lunch, really going to help you? No. And I'm not saying that to knock anybody. I was doing stuff like that myself. So you just have to look at that. And you have to have that moment of choice. Is it important? You have to pause, clarify, and then decide, and what I'm doing right now really going to move me forward? So one thing that is super helpful that will help move you forward and keep you on task is a business activity tracker. And I've talked about how important that is. So if you're not using it yet, you need to start using it right away. This is what I used that helped me move my business forward every day while I was working my full-time job. I just did a little bit at a time, and then it took me to the place to where I could quit my full-time job. So obviously it works, so I encourage that you guys try to do it. And the one thing that I just try to think of every day when I'm doing tasks is, okay, is this going to help me achieve my goal? Am I being productive right now? Of course, we want to give ourselves downtime and give ourselves time to relax, but I mean, let's be honest, we only have one life. Why would we want to waste time being unproductive? We definitely have to take care of ourselves and get rest and get enough sleep each night, and it's definitely important to unplug one day a week and take a day a week off so that we can rest and rejuvenate. So sometimes tasks like watching TV or going on a walk on one day of the week when you've done everything you need to do can be great. But we want to focus on doing the most productive things if we really want to achieve our goals like we say we do. And I know I do. That's why I had to eliminate a lot of unnecessary things out of my life. And I actually found that I was much happier because I was prioritizing more and I didn't feel like I was doing 85 million things again. So I encourage you guys to start doing this, and if you need my help, please let me know. And I'm sorry that this video was so long, but this was just some really important information that I had to share with y'all. So I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you have a really great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.